Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope all of you are fit and fine at home. Yes, so let's start our social science class. But before that, I have a riddle for you because it's a riddle time. Yes, so I will ask you a question and you have to give the answer. You have to think first and then give the answer. Should I ask you the question? The riddle question is David's parents have three sons. So what is the question? David's parents have three sons. Snap, crackle, and what's the name of the third son? What is the name of the third son? Think fast. Yes, think fast. What is the answer for this? That David's parents has three children. Yes, three sons are there. One name is Snap, Cradle, and what is the name for third? The answer is David. Yes. So a big star for me because I have given the answer. Yes. So answer is David. The third son is David. So now let's start with our study time because this is our study time. So bring your social science book, notebook, pencil, eraser, sharpener, everything with you. I hope that everything is with you right now. Yes, so all of you are welcome in the social science class. We have already started chapter number 3, the Northern Plains. Yes, we have started chapter number 3, Northern Plains. And in this chapter, we have already discussed about the Northern Plains location, that where are Northern Plains. It starts from Punjab, from the west to Assam in the east. We have also discussed about Himalayan rivers which are originated from Himalayan mountains. Yes, and we have discussed about Satluj river basin also. In our earlier class, we have studied about Ganga river basin, that how from where Ganga river is originated. Ganga river is originated from Gangotri glacier and from with the name of Bhagirathi. Yes, and Bhagirathi, Alaknanda and Mandakini river flow and they joins in a one stream which forms a Ganga river. And where it joins in Rishikesh, Uttarakhand. Yes, so we have discussed about Ganga river also, how it flows from mountains towards the northern plains, and it makes the northern plain area fertile because of alluvial soil present in the northern plains. Yes, what is fertile? Fertile means the soil which is having all the essential nutrients and the components which are very essential to grow the crops, which gives good growth of the crops. Okay, so now today we will discuss about Brahmaputra river basin because we are having three river basin in India. Which are they? First one is the Satluj river basin. Second one we have discussed about Ganga river basin, and now we will discuss the third one, that is Brahmaputra river basin. So let's start. The Brahmaputra is the longest of the three rivers of the North India. So what is Brahmaputra? The Brahmaputra river is the longest of the three rivers of the North India. It starts from Tibet, where it is called the Sampo. What it is called? The Sangpo. Yes, and it's where in Tibet it is called as the Sangpo, the Brahmaputra river. So you can see here the Brahmaputra river is flowing from here, from Tibet, from China. This Brahmaputra river is flowing and it is entering in India with the name of Brahmaputra river. Okay, so this is Tibet, this is the river flowing, and this river which is flowing, the Brahmaputra river, which starts from Tibet, it is known there as the Sengpo. It enters India through Arunachal Pradesh and flows through Assam before entering Bangladesh. So when this river Brahmaputra, the Sengpo, is starting from China, it is being, when it enters India, where it enters through Arunachal Pradesh. Here through Arunachal Pradesh, it enters India and flows through Assam before entering Bangladesh. So here you can see this is Bangladesh. Before entering Bangladesh, it flows from Assam. So from here, Brahmaputra river enters India in Arunachal Pradesh, and then it flows through Assam and before entering Bangladesh, our neighboring country. This is Assam and this is Bangladesh, our neighboring country. So Brahmaputra river enters, after flowing from Assam, it enters Bangladesh, our neighboring country. The Ganga and the Brahmaputra, before falling into the Bay of Bengal, form the largest delta in the world. So this Ganga river is flowing from here. We have already discussed here that Ganga river also flows from in India, and when it enters Bangladesh, one of the branch of Ganga river is known as Padma river. Yes, when it enters into Bangladesh. So the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, when they enter, both the rivers enters Bangladesh before falling into Bay of Bengal. Here it is Bay of Bengal. Yes, here is Bay of Bengal. So before falling into the Bay of Bengal, it forms a largest delta in the world. So this area which I am showing you with the help of pointer, this area is a delta. Now you would be thinking, ma'am, what is delta? Let me tell you what is delta. Yes, but before that, it is called Sundarban. So this delta is known as Sundarban, which they form the largest delta when Brahmaputra and the Ganga river, before falling into Bay of Bengal, this area is a delta area, and this delta is called as Sundarban. Now the question will be arising in your mind that, ma'am, what is delta? Let's see what is delta now. What is this region? What is delta? And this delta is known as Sundarban, where the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, before falling into the Bay of Bengal, they form a delta. So what is a delta? A delta is a low-lying flatland near the sea where the river deposits sediments. So the delta is a low-lying flat area. It is a flat land near the sea where the river deposits its sediment. So you can see here, these all are the rivers which are flowing from different locations, and these rivers, when they are flowing, then when they are, they want to flow into the sea. Here the Bay of Bengal, here it is Bay of Bengal. So when it, sorry, let me take this pointer towards here. So when we see here, this is Bay of Bengal, and these rivers are falling into are coming and joining into the Bay of Bengal. So this area, this green portion, this green low lying flat area which is near to the sea, where the river deposits, when the rivers are flowing, they are carrying sediments with them. Yes, alluvial soil and sediments with them, and what they do, they deposit the sediments on this land, on this flat land, and then they flow into the sea, big sea. Yes, so this flat land which is having a lot of deposit of sediment, this land is called as delta. Yes, now you understood that a delta is a low-lying flatland near the sea where the rivers deposit sediments. So these are the this is a low-lying flat area where the rivers are flowing into the sea, and when they are flowing into the sea, they are depositing the sediments on this flat land area. Yes. Now, many cities exist along the bank of these rivers. So, many of the cities exist along the bank of these rivers. Some of the important cities include Delhi along Yamuna river, yes, Kolkata along Hooghly river, Kanpur, Allahabad, Patna, Varanasi along Ganga river. So there are lot many cities which exist on the bank of these rivers, from where the rivers are flowing on the bank of the river. There are so many cities which are located. Like we have Delhi along Yamuna river. In Delhi we have Yamuna river. Yes, in Kolkata there is Hooghly river. Kanpur, Allahabad, Patna, Varanasi are along Ganga river. So you can see New Delhi here. You can see here it is New Delhi, and this is Yamuna river flowing from here. You can see Kolkata here. It is Kolkata, and Hooghly river is flowing on the bank of Hooghly river. Kolkata city is situated. Kanpur, Allahabad, Varanasi, Patna, these are the four cities which are being located along the river bank of Ganga, because Ganga is flowing here. So these are the four cities which are located on the bank of Ganga river. Yes. Now you understood, many goods are produced in the factories which are located in these cities. So all these cities which are situated, which are which are located on the bank of these rivers, have industries also in the cities, as we all have industries in our cities. Yes. So these when these cities are located on the bank of river, they also have many factories there, but harmful waste from these factories are discharged into river. So what happens once the city is being located situated on these on the river banks, the cities all have the factories also, they have the people living there, so all the necessary things which the human settlement require, all is available in the cities. So there will be factories also in the cities. So when there are factories in the cities, those factories, what they did do, they discharge harmful waste. Whatever harmful waste is there from these factories are coming, they discharge them into river water, which makes the river water polluted. You can see these are the factories, and from these factories all the harmful waste, harmful water which will affect the river water, that is all being discharged into the rivers, which are making these rivers very polluted with, and making the water no, we cannot use that water for our day to day life. Industrial waste falling into Ganga river, you can see how industrial waste, this drainage is there from this industry, this waste material is coming, wastewater is coming, harmful substances are there, and it is mixing in the river water, Ganga river. This makes the river water dirty, because these all harmful waste which are coming from the factories are being discharged into river water, which makes the river water dirty. It becomes unfit for drinking and other uses. So we cannot use this water, this river water, if the harmful discharges are there in the from the factories are there in the river. We cannot use that water, because now the water become polluted, and if we drink this water or we use this water, it will affect our body. Many diseases we will have. Yes. And we will have a poison also. This is a kind of poison which is there, which is being mixed with the river water, so it is harmful to use. Yes, the government has started a project to clean the Ganga river and prevent its further pollution. So what government has taken measures? Now when government saw all these things, that these factories are polluting this river water, so government has started new projects to clean the river water. So the one of the project is the Ganga river project, in which the government has taken the necessary measures to clean or prevent the pollution in in the Ganga water, so that we can clean the Ganga water and we can make the Ganga water usable for our daily purpose. This is known as a Ganga action plan. So the government has started a project, and the government has started a project to clean the Ganga river. This is known as Ganga action plan. Now we will talk about the life in northern plains. That what is the life, how the people are living in northern plain area, which are the states which are there in northern plain area, and what are the food habits, what are the dressing sense of these people who are living in northern plains. So first we will talk about Punjab. Punjab is a state from where Punjab is a state which comes in northern plains. We will talk about the lifestyle of Punjab. The word Punjab means a land of 5 rivers. So we say Punjab as a land of 5 rivers, because 5 rivers are flowing from this state Punjab. Which are those 5 rivers? You have to find it out. Yes, this is a homework for you, that find which are the 5 rivers which are flowing from Punjab. In 1947, the western part of Punjab became a part of Pakistan. So in 1947, the western part, you can see western part of Punjab become a part of Pakistan. Earlier, Punjab was in India only, but in 1947, when India was bifurcated and we became independent, in that year, the Punjab, which was on the western part of Punjab, became a part of Pakistan. Yes, and the eastern Punjab became the part of India. Okay, and in the rivers which are, which are becoming a part of Punjab, the river, why we say Punjab as the land of five rivers, the five rivers which are flowing from Punjab, you have to find out and then tell me in the online doubt clearing session. Yes. Now only three rivers flow through the Indian part of Punjab. So which are the three rivers flow through the Indian part of Punjab? Two of them are also flowing from the Pakistan also. But three rivers which are flowing through in the Indian part of Punjab are Bees, Ravi and Satluj. So Bees is a river here. You can see here, this is Bees, Ravi. This is a river Ravi which is flowing towards Punjab, and this is Bees river, and this is Satluj river. So these are the three rivers which are flowing through the Indian part of Punjab. Wheat, rice, oil seeds and sugarcane are the main crops of this region. So in Punjab, people eat wheat, rice, oil seeds and sugarcane, and these are the main crops of the Punjab. The Green Revolution has helped Punjab to become prosperous. So, the Green Revolution has helped Punjab to become prosperous. So, what is the Green Revolution? Now, the question will be arising in your mind. Ma'am, Green Revolution has helped Punjab for becoming prosperous. But what is this Green Revolution? So, students, Green Revolution is the, is refers to the introduction of high yield variety of seeds, increase use of fertilizers and irrigation methods. So green revolution is what? Green revolution is all those measures, all those processes which helps the crops to grow, or you can say the good quality of seeds are being provided. Earlier what happened, the farmers were only doing all the when they were growing the crops, they were doing all the things by themselves, or they were hiring the workers, the laborers, to do the work on the agricultural land. But when the green revolution came, in that phase, what happened, all those high quality variety of seeds were introduced, so that the good quality of crop can be grown, and there were increased that we should use fertilizers when the crops are needing, and there were irrigation methods also improved by the government. So the government took initiative, and they started a green revolution. In that, they provided all the good things, all the basic things which were required by the farmers to grow crops and to increase their yield, or to increase their production. Yes, it took place during the 1960s. So when it took place in the year 1960, especially in 1965 onwards, there was green revolution. Farmers or the agriculture was given more importance, so that they can improve in the agriculture, growing of crops. It was aimed at providing increase in production to make India self-sufficient in food grain. Why was green revolution in India? It was aimed at providing increase in production. So why it was there? To provide increase in production of crops to make India self-sufficient in food grain, so that we can grow our own crops for our benefit and our growth. So Punjabi and Hindi are the main languages spoken here. So in Punjab we spoke Punjabi and spoke Hindi. Yes. Many industries have been set up in Punjab because electricity is available from Bhakra Dam. So many of the industries are being set up in Punjab because electricity is available from Bhakra Dam. There is a Bhakra Dam in Punjab. We have studied earlier in Satluj River Basin. So because of Bhakra Dam, electricity is available in this state, and there are many industries set up in Punjab. Ludhiana is famous for its hosiery and woolen goods. Jalandhar is well known for its sports goods. So sports items are made in Jalandhar. Amritsar and Dhariwal, these all are the cities of Punjab which are famous for making one or the other thing. Like Ludhiana is famous for hosiery and woolen goods. In Ludhiana, people make hosiery and woolen goods. Jalandhar city is well known for its sports good. There are sports goods made. Amritsar and Dhariwal have mills that make woolen products. So let's see if with the help of Punjab, this is a map of Punjab, and in Punjab, if we talk about Jalandhar, this is Jalandhar here. In Jalandhar, sports goods are made. In Amritsar, we have mills for different woolen clothes. Ludhiana is famous for hosiery and woolen goods. Amritsar Pool of Nectar is also famous for its golden temple Har Mandir Sahib. So Amritsar is also known as Pool of Nectar because it is a holy place and it is famous for golden temple. I know some of you would have been visited golden temple. Yes. So Har Mandir Sahib. It is the holiest place of Sikhs. So Sikh people visit here and it is the holiest place of Sikh. This is a picture of golden temple in Amritsar. So those who have visited Punjab, they might have gone to the golden temple also. They have visited golden temple. So it is in Punjab only. In Punjab, the main festival of Punjab are Guru Purab, Baisakhi, Holi, Lohri, Diwali and Dashera. Bhangra and Gidda are folk dances of Punjab. You can see here, these are the dances of Punjab. The women wear salwar kameez, men wear lungi kurta here. So you can see women are wearing salwar kameez and men are wearing lungi and kurta. Lungi is here and kurta is here. In Punjab, people eat makke ki roti, sarson ka saag and lassi are the favorite dishes of people of Punjab. So you can see this is makke ki roti, sarson ka saag and lassi. So the people in Punjab are very fond of food and they eat makke ki roti, sarson ka saag and lassi are the favorite dishes of the people of Punjab. Now we talk about Chandigarh. Chandigarh is the capital of both Punjab and Haryana. So Chandigarh is the capital of Punjab also and it is the capital of Haryana also. It is a union territory. So you would be knowing that Punjab is a union territory. So in India you can see here there it is Punjab. This is a state Punjab and here we have Chandigarh which is a capital for both Punjab and Haryana. It was designed by a French architect Le Corbusier. So this Chandigarh was designed by a French architect. So if you have visited Chandigarh, it is a very well designed city. It is a very well designed capital of Punjab, and this was designed by a French architect Le Corbusier. This is the person, French architect Le Corbusier. Now we will talk about Haryana, another state which comes in our northern plains. So this we will talk about Haryana, how the people of Haryana live, what is there in Haryana state. Haryana means the abode of God. Abode means the house, the home of God. It is towards the south of Punjab. So you can see here Punjab is there and towards the south there is Haryana state. So towards the south of Punjab it is Haryana state. People speak Haryanvi, Hindi and Punjabi. So people in Haryana speaks Haryanvi, Hindi and Punjabi. Farming and dairy farming are the main occupation of the people here. So here the people do farming, they do agriculture, they grow crops and they also do dairy farming. They keep the cattle, rear the cow, goat, buffaloes, and then they use the milk. They take out the milk of the cattle and they use for making dairy products. The major crops grown are wheat, rice, maize, jowar, bajra, pulses and sugarcane. So these are the major crops which are grown in Haryana: wheat, rice, maize, jowar, bajra and sugarcane. At Karnal is a city in Haryana. At Karnal there is a big dairy farm. So in Haryana there is a city Karnal where is a very big dairy farm. Here farmers are taught how to look after special type of cattle. So here farmers are being educated or are being taught to how to look after a special type of cattle which will give them plenty of milk. So this is a farm in Karnal where the farmers are taught to look after are given the training to to handle the special type of cattle and how to take out plenty of milk from these cattle. Every year at Hisar is a city in Haryana state. So every year at Hisar a big cattle fair is held. So you can see here this is a cattle fair here in Hisar where different types of cattle, you can see cow, buffalo are being bought by the farmers and farmers buy and sell the cattle. They buy here in the cattle fair, they buy the cattle and they sell their cattle also. Sonipat is another city in Haryana, has many bicycle factories. You can see bicycle factories are there in Sonipat. In Panipat, Panipat is a city. Panipat is famous for its handloom clothes. So these all are the cities which are famous for one or the other thing which are there in Haryana state. Gurugram is famous for its automobile manufacturing unit. So Gurugram is also there in Haryana, which is earlier known as Gurgaon. You all know. So now it is known as Gurugram, and Gurugram is famous for its automobile manufacturing unit. Their car and automobiles are being manufactured. Manufacturing means made. Can you name the famous car made in Gurugram? Yes, students, tell me. Do you know any of the famous car which is made in Gurugram? Yes? No? Let me tell you that a car made in Gurugram is Maruti Suzuki. There is a very big company, very big plant of Maruti Suzuki where Alto is made. So this is a map of Haryana. In Haryana, Karnal is having dairy farming. In Panipat, we have handloom business. In Sonipat, there is a bicycle factory. Hisar, there is a cattle fair. In Gurugram, there is automobile manufacturing unit is there. So these are the cities of Haryana which are having different types of businesses or activities. Now we will talk about dress in Haryana. What type of dress the people of Haryana wear? The women wear ghangra kurta while men wear dhoti kurta. So you can see the man is wearing dhoti and kurta and the woman is wearing ghangra and kurta. Now students, today what we have done? Today we have discussed about Brahmaputra river basin, and we have discussed about the life in Punjab and Haryana. We have discussed about the food habits, the lifestyle, the cities which are famous in these states, and we have discussed what type of crops are grown in these cities which are there in Punjab and Haryana. And Punjab and Haryana are the states which are there in northern plains. Yes. So now it's a book reading time for all of us. So let's read the book. Take out your book, and this is your book, social science book, chapter number, yes, social science book, chapter number 3. Take out your book. I'm waiting for you. We will read the book. So now we will start with Brahmaputra river basin. Take out page number 20 of chapter number 3. So I will just read. Yes, and wherever I will tell you to underline, just underline at that place. Okay. So now let me share with you. Yes, the most we will talk about page number 20, Brahmaputra river basin. The Brahmaputra is the longest of the three rivers of North India. It starts in Tibet where it is called the Sangpo. So you have to just underline the Brahmaputra is the longest of the three rivers of North India. It starts in Tibet where it is called the Sangpo. So just underline these three lines. It enters India through Arunachal Pradesh and flow through Assam before entering Bangladesh. So underline this. It enters India through Arunachal Pradesh and flows through Assam before entering Bangladesh. The Ganga and the Brahmaputra before falling into Bay of Bengal form the largest delta in the world. It is called Sundarban. So underline Sundarban. Yes. Now we will talk about what is a delta. A delta is a low-lying flatland near the sea where the river deposits its sediment. So underline this. A delta is low-lying flatland near the sea where the rivers deposit its sediments. Many cities exist along the banks of these rivers. Some of the important cities include Delhi along Yamuna, Kolkata along Hooghly, Kanpur, Allahabad, Patna, Varanasi along Ganga. Many goods are produced in the factories which are located in these cities, but the harmful wastes from these factories are discharged into the rivers. This makes the river water dirty. It becomes unfit for drinking and other uses. The government has started a project to clean the Ganga river and prevent its further pollution. This is known as Ganga Action Plan. So just underline from here, the government has started a project to clean the Ganga river and prevent its further pollution. This is known as Ganga Action Plan. Underline till here. Life in the northern plains. Punjab. We will talk about the state Punjab. The Punjab means the land of five rivers. In 1947, the western part of Punjab became a part of Pakistan. Now only three rivers flow through the Indian part of Punjab: Beas, Ravi and Satluj River. Wheat, rice, oilseed, sugarcane are the main crops of this region. The Green Revolution has helped Punjab to become prosperous. Punjabi and Hindi are the main languages of spoken here in Punjab. Many industries have been set up in Punjab because electricity is available from Bhakra Dam. Ludhiana is famous for its hosiery and woolen goods. Jalandhar is well known for its sports goods. Amritsar and Dhariwal have mills that make woolen products. Amritsar, Pool of Nectar, is also known as for its golden temple. Harminder Sahib, it is the holiest place of Sikh. The main festival of Punjab, underline this, the main festival of Punjab are Guru Purab, Baisakhi, Holi, Lodi, Diwali and Dashera. Bhangra and Gidda are folk dances of Punjab. The women wear salwar kameez and men wear lungi kurta. Makki ki roti, sarson ka saag and lassi are the favorite dishes of people of Punjab. Chandigarh is the capital of Punjab and Haryana. It is a union territory. It was designed by a French architect, Le Corbusier. Now we will talk about Haryana state. Haryana means abode of God. So just underline this, Haryana means abode of God. It is towards the south of Punjab. People speak Haryanvi, Hindi and Punjabi. Farming and dairy farming are the main occupation of the people. So you can just underline farming and dairy farming are the main occupation of the people of Haryana. The major crops are grown: wheat, rice, maize, jowar, bajra, pulses and sugarcane. Underline these all lines also. At Karnal, there is a big dairy farms. Here farmers are taught how to look after special type of cattle which will give them plenty of milk. So in Karnal, there is a dairy farming and the farmers are taught how to look after the special type of cattle. Every year at Hisar, a big cattle is held. Farmers from all over the state come buy and sell cattle. Sonipat has many bicycle factories. Panipat is famous for its handloom clothes. Gurugram is famous for its automobile manufacturing unit. Can you name the famous car made in Gurugram? Yes, now you can name. So the famous car which is made in Gurugram is Alto. The women wear ghangra kurta while the men wear dhoti kurta. So till here we have discussed. So students, what you have to do? You have to read the book chapter number 20 and 21. Yes, and whenever you have any doubt, you can just write down in your rough notebook, and then when we will have a doubt clearing session, at that time you can ask me your queries and I will be solving your queries. Yes, so till then, so now there is a homework for you all, and what you have to do, you have to read social science book page number 21, Life in the Northern Plains, Punjab and Haryana. Yes, so this is a homework for you all students, and when you are reading a book and in the case you have any query, any doubt is there, just write down that in your notebook. Yes, in your rough notebook, and then whenever there is an online doubt clearing session, at that time you can ask me that query and doubt and I will clear that doubt there itself. Okay, till then, have a nice day students and enjoy your day.